Hi, I'm Dr. Gilbert here, streaming live from Oregon Weight and Wellness, and I'm here with Alisha Harrington. Hi, Alisha.
Hello.
Hey, sorry we're at a different time than usual. I think Facebook's had a problem today. I don't know. But anyway, here we are, better late than never, right? And I have a special guest with me, Alisha Harrington. She has been rotating through our clinic this month, and actually she's been adding. She already has a beautiful background in holistic health and nutrition. Alicia, tell us a little bit about your background and who you are, or what makes you tick.
Yeah, so I first started out as an acupuncturist. So I worked as an acupuncturist for about 8 years. So I have a pretty strong background in traditional medicine. And with acupuncture, we do use a lot. We think of food as medicine.
Mhm.
So I'm very familiar with Chinese medical nutrition. But I've also studied a lot of nutrition from the Western side of things too. And now I am a third year or fourth year medical student at Western University studying osteopathic medicine.
Great, great. And you're hoping to just really round out your understanding and then what you're able to give to your patients by adding that piece. Wow, good for you. I don't know if I'd have it in me to after I do one thing to dig in and do something huge like that. So good for you. Well,
Thanks.
Alicia, you take great care of yourself. So and you are familiar with the book Michael Pollan Food Rules. We've been reading through this and the different chapters. Today is chapter 16. It says, buy your snacks at the farmer's market. Tell us your experience with farmers markets and then how you're using food as medicine to take good care of yourself.
Yeah, so I really like going to the farmers market because it gives you a chance to see what's actually in season and
Mhm.
what's grown locally. Because a big part of the food system is we want to eat things that are within our season because that tells our body what it should be preparing for. So as we're going into the winter season, we want to have good ability to fight off respiratory illnesses and keep ourselves warm. So we want to nourish our yang qi, as we say in Chinese medicine.
Oh,
So we tend to start getting some of the more foods like pears and apples, which have a lot of nutrient dense. They've built up their nutrient stores over the whole year. And then finally in the fall, you can get them. Same thing with pumpkins. Like you pick pumpkins at the very end of the year. So they've stored up all their energy. And now we can store those through the winter and start eating foods like that. Um, so I go to the farmer's market every week because I pick up my CSA box, and a CSA is community supported agriculture. So at the beginning of the summer, I purchase a share of a farm, and each week I pick up that piece of the farm produce. So I pick that up at the farmer's market. It's usually a giant, my partner calls it an aggressive amount of vegetables.
I love that aggressive amount.
Yeah, because we definitely have to work to think about how we're going to use vegetables in all of our meals. So we usually bring home this giant supply of vegetables and we do our chopping on Sunday and we have all that food prepared to make, as Julie calls it, the super fridge.
Right. Yeah.
So we prep all of our veggies and make lots of veggie snacks. So we'll cut up produce like we've been getting a lot of bell peppers and carrots right now. So I'll cut those up and put them in my I like the silicone reusable Ziploc bags. So I
Oh,
can
okay.
just refill them. And so I have a bunch of pre-prepped chopped veggies for quick, easy snacks. I really like crunchy texture, so I tend to do that a lot. But other really great snacks that I like to get at the farmer's market are things like hazelnuts. So hazelnuts are grown in Oregon in abundance, and so those are often found at the farmer's market. Um, those are some of my favorite snacks.
Yeah. Are those usually, do you roast those or do they
They're
come
usually
roasted?
roasted, but you can get raw as well.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Wow, I'm impressed that you're in medical school and you're still taking all that time for food prep. Good for you. And I'm sure it's making a difference. Man, if I think about what I was eating when I was in medical school, I'm embarrassed to admit it. You know, it's more like a little Debbie Nutty Buddy bar than that was my snack. I'm not advocating that. Don't do that. Wow. So you're way ahead of where I was. But anyway, yeah. So this was saying get your snacks at the farmers market, if you need to snack. So if you need to snack. So some people do need to snack to maintain energy during the day, or actually to maintain enough calories in their diet. A lot of times though, if we eat enough food and the right kinds of food at our meal, then we're not going to be hungry for a snack in between. And we have to be careful because today's farmers markets, I don't remember when this book was written, but I think Rachel and I were talking about at today's farmers markets there, often there are a lot of baked goods and a lot of dried fruits that might have had sugar added to them. But so you got to be discerning. Not everything at the farmer's market is going to be conducive for health. But, it's, I would say it's probably where the grocery store is 80-20, 80 in the other way. The farmer's market is probably 20-80, 80% great, 20%. Well, I got to think about that a little bit. So, but yeah. And I think our farmers markets here, now you're in Corvallis, right? And I think some farmers markets go into fall because they are now growing and harvesting the fall or the vegetables. And so you're going to still get a lot of good kale and chard and broccoli and cauliflower and all those things that can grow into the winter even. But then you were telling me, Alisha, tell me about the co-op that you go to.
Oh yeah, I really like the co-op too, because they also tend to mostly work with local produce distributors.
Mm-hmm.
So they tend to get more produce that's local, but also they tend to carry kind of more natural products. So
Right.
typically things they appreciate the way that the companies are ran. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes there's a lot of B corporations, which means that they treat their employees well and they show you what they do with their money, and and just other more organic produce and more organic packaged goods as well. But the main thing I like about the co-op is that they have a large bulk section. So you can get a lot of foods that I tend to eat a lot of from the bulk foods part. You can just
like nuts and seeds and things like that.
Yeah, trail mixes and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah, I like the point you brought up too, and I think we find these at the farmers markets. But they'll even have like soaps and things like that that are more natural. And I don't know why it took me so long to have this kind of aha moment, but if what I'm putting in my body, if I've increased or if I've improved the quality of that and it's become more, organic and just really high quality foods, natural, all natural, why wouldn't I want to put, chemical free, why wouldn't what I put on my body using in soaps and things like, why wouldn't I want that also to be toxin and chemical free? So, and I think a lot of times at these farmers markets, at the co-op, you're going to find those kinds of healthy products as well.
Yeah.
So cool. So when we snack, if we're hungry, so I'm going to qualify it. If you're hungry, go ahead and eat something, because you really don't want to get into a food emergency, as we like to call it, where you're so hungry, you're just going to eat whatever's in front of you or whatever you can get to the quickest. So if you happen to be if you happen to get hungry, that physiological hunger that comes on a little more slowly, we talk about the difference between physiological hunger and craving. There's a difference, but if people feel physiologically hungry, then I do encourage them to eat that snack, that whole food snack in between meals. Otherwise, if we eat enough of the right protein, vegetables, healthy fat at the meal, usually we don't need to eat between meals, but yeah. So very good. So Michael Pollan, Food Rules, great ideas about how to improve the quality of your food. And Alicia, thank you for sharing your experiences with us. It's always great to have younger people coming through the office and learning from them. I wish what I knew now, what I, that sort of thing. But anyway, we're all learning and growing and encouraging each other to move in the healthy direction. So thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. All right. Until next time. And hopefully things will get worked out with Facebook and we'll be back on track for next week. So thank you.